Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be introducing the BSN IDE services. On May 31st, BSN has launched the IDE services. BSN IDE services customize and integrate the third-party IDEs corresponding to the frameworks adapted in BSN to form a development tool suite. When users create, publish, and upgrade dApp services in the BSN portal, they can create and edit smart contracts by accessing the IDE website with one click from the dApp service page. Currently, the BSN International portal provides IDE services with permission frameworks, including Hyperledger Fabric and Physical Beacons, as well as public chains, including Ethereum, Algorand, and Nervals. Developers can either access to the IDE from BSN portal or directly log in to the IDE webpage with a BSN username and password. After developers editing the smart contract in the IDE and jumping back to the BSN portal, they can find that the smart contract has already been synchronized. Mainly, there are 4 ways for developers to access to IDE services in the BSN. Now, I'd like to show you one by one. Firstly, log into the BSN website. Then go to Permissioned Services, Published Services. Here you can see Online IDE button. Click the button. You need to choose the platform type that you want to access. Here we choose Fabric Global and click Confirm button to jump to the IDE webpage. In this page, here you can see the project list and the contract list, as well as the network list. So here we are using the Fabric Global SCCP 256R1 framework with the mainnet framework. So the difference between mainnet and testnet is that for the frameworks of the BSN mainnet, they are using the production environment, while the testnet means the BSN testnet. Here we click New Project button to create a new project. There are 2 ways for developers to create the new project. They can either import the chain code from the BSN portal, or they can simply upload from the local disk drive. To select the chain code package and click Create button to create the smart contract. Now here we see the smart contract list is shown below, and after clicking each file, we can then edit or debug all the smart contract codes. So after that, we can simply, by one click, deploy button. Then to deploy the smart contract, remember to choose the correct network type as well as the framework. And you can either to say that you're creating a new service or you're editing the existing services. To input the chain code name here and select the chain code language. Here we use Golang language so that we need to fill in the main path. And click Deploy button to deploy the smart contract. Here in the pop-up window, we can see the smart contract has been successfully deployed, and we click this button to proceed to service publish processing on the BSN website. From this page, we can easily see that the BSN chain code package from IDE has been already deployed, so that we can then continue our process of publishing a new service. This is very easy for developers to configure and directly deploy the smart contract to the BSN when you are publishing a new service. Another way to access to the online IDE is when you are upgrading your service, just like what we have here. For example, when we create a new project, here we choose import from BSN, which means these two smart contracts already exists with the previous service that I have already created. So what I'm going to do is to upgrade the service. So I'm going to upgrade the smart contract or to edit the smart contract. I can directly just click and choose the chain code that I want to modify. Once I have edited all the smart contract that I needed, I can also click deploy button. And right here, the difference between that one is I need to update the version of the smart contract, and then I click deploy. Here we can see that in the pop-up window, it is like click to proceed service upgrade process on the BSN portal. So mostly it is kind of the same with the service publication, but here we have already pre-configured the parameters here so that we don't need to modify them, just to update the version to perform the service upgrade. And as well, we can see here that the smart contract is already here with the edited version from the online IDE. And here is kind of the third way for us, okay, to access to online IDE, which is selected from the permission services, Testnet services, and click this button, okay, online IDE as well, and to choose the platform type, and then you can confirm and jump to the IDE webpage as well. The difference is that while you are creating a new project, here you should choose Testnet for the network type. And as you can see that I have already deployed a service as Poly Interchain Test 1. So the smart contract here that I have already deployed on the test service is automatically shown. Okay. So this is kind of what I am going to do. If it's kind of another framework, then definitely I don't upload anything yet, so that the chain code here is an empty one, so that I couldn't create it. Okay. So the only thing that I should do is to upload it as well. Okay. So this is kind of the access way to go to the IDE service page from the permission services. As I have just said, that we also have the permissionless services that can allow the developers to access to online IDEs. We need to firstly to buy a plan. Actually, you can use the free plan, and then you need to create new projects. So as I just said that the BSN IDE currently supports 3 public chains, including Ethereum, okay, Algorand, and Nervals, so that we can see them one by one, whether they are able to access to the online IDE. So after creating the project here, you can see the right side action here. Click this button and you can see Online IDE. Now you can click the button to access to the Ethereum BSN IDE. So the way to create a new project, okay, to install smart contract is quite the same with the permission one there, so that I don't need to show you here. And let's jump back here to create the other two IDE services. So this one is Algorand. So for example, I'll create this project. Click this button. And we can see this one is for Algorand IDE only, because the template here are different, so they have different functions. And this also works for Nervals. From here, you can easily see that they are different websites for Ethereum, Algorand, and Nervals, respectively. Okay, so the procedure to create the project is also the same. Okay, so this is kind of the way for developers to access to the IDE environment from the BSN portal. Apart from that, the developers can directly go to the BSN IDE by just logging to IDE.bsnbase.io. So this website is for the permissioned IDE environment. For example, if I would like to log in, I can just input my BSN username and password. And to authorize, okay, the BSN IDE here. So that I can do everything, okay, the same here. This also happens to Ethereum, for example, Ethereum IDE services. If I'd like to log into it, I also need to authorize it. And here comes the same thing that I can do. Okay, so overall, this is how we can use the BSN IDE services. For more information, we strongly recommend you to read the BSN user manual in Chapter 9, IDE Services. There is an access instruction for you, as well as my IDE configuration, so that you can have a better experience of using the BSN IDE services. Thank you for your watching.